Good evening, everyone. My name is Cynthia Loesch-Johnson, and I'm president of the Codman Square Neighborhood Council. Good evening to the Codman Square community. We want to make sure we start our October meeting on time so that we can end on time, so I will jump right into the agenda. We will be starting with updates from State Representative Russell Holmes.
I apologize. So I'm going to begin with two quick updates, I think. The first is in regard to the Norfolk Bridge. For those who are not aware, there's been a major movement here recently by the Rock Neighborhood Association, Trina, Jawan, and others around the bridge that if you're coming from Codman Square on Norfolk Street heading towards Walgreens at Morton Street, that bridge has been there for I think since 1986. It is structurally sound, but the challenge have been recently that the neighborhood has just gotten really concerned about safety. Not just recently, they've been concerned for quite some time. But then they've now organized and have been sending emails, phone calls, standard, some of the emails that you click in and then you send them out to all the state reps and others. I can tell you the response has been loud and clear. We've heard from folks, whether that be Brandy, who's the newly elected state rep in the area, and myself. And we've gone out, we've asked the city to go out, which they did right away. But the biggest concerns were about safety. And when I say safety, not safety from regards to the bridge falling down. The bridge is structurally sound. However, when you walk across the bridge is dark. And so people have been robbed on the bridge. People have vandalized the bridge. People have been sleeping on the bridge and things of that nature, and people don't feel safe. And so what the city was great to do was to come right out, and they put lights out on the bridge. And then from the state perspective, we've gone out and we've cut back a lot of the branches to make sure that you have a much better line of sight. And then unfortunately we had the accident several months ago, and so we put up the speed sign to try to slow people down. However, the list is much longer. Remove the graffiti, repair the sidewalks, try to figure out, is there a way that we can not have those rails up that as you're walking down and by it, if you're short or shorter, you can't be seen well. That's the one thing that has been a challenge because of the fact that going through and trying to, of course, put holes in it would damage the structural integrity of the bridge. And so we are the Rock Neighborhood Association, myself, Brandy, Senator Collins, and I are going to be out in the next couple of weeks at night to go through and see what other things we can what other things we can get done so that we can, of course, adhere to what Rock has been asking. So please join in. I don't know if some of you have been in those emails with Trina and Jawan and others, but we're hoping to get the folks out to remove graffiti next week. And then stuff like name the bridge, add murals to the bridge, things of those natures were pretty straightforward, but it was just the structural piece that was the biggest concern. And the second thing that I just wanted to update folks on is, I talked to Cynthia about this earlier this week, I have been getting quite a few phone calls here recently regarding cannabis, and the folks who now are still going through the city process and asking for support letters and the like. As I began this conversation more than a year ago, I am not one who's going to say I'm not going to select the person. I will consider all the folks who are options today. I only know of two, and both have asked, will I support them? I'm going to push back at them now as they're going through this phase and ask, what is it you'll agree to the community, with the community? What are the things you're going to provide the community? And then I'm going to also just evaluate the teams and come up with an answer and write only one recommendation letter and not write letters that say I'm not in dispute or I don't agree with one of the people or treat them all equally. I will, to the best of my ability, hear from you, hear from them, and make a decision about who I think would be better of the two. And those are my two quick updates. I know that's not as quick as maybe you'd like, but those are my two updates.
Thank you very much, Rep. Holmes, for those updates. We also thank you for your transparency throughout this process as we figure out cannabis dispensaries in Codman Square. I think a major concern that residents have, just thinking about the number of liquor licenses, tobacco permits, fast food distribution in our community, we don't want to end up with a number of cannabis dispensaries in Codman Square as well. And as you know, there are 2 proposals within less than 500 feet of each other. So we're really hoping you can help us navigate making sure there aren't a number of cannabis dispensaries in Codman Square, as we've seen with other substances in our community.
Sure. So my response to that is the city process, of course, has only one every quarter mile. And that's why I believe I will be clear on picking one, that I think there should only be one, obviously, in Codman Square and not multiple. I agree with you strongly.
One other question that's come in, it's been reported that a number of cities and towns are not moving forward with step 2 of the 3rd phase of reopening, and that includes Boston. If you guys don't know, step 2 of phase 3 allows indoor performance venues, roller rinks, fitting rooms to reopen, and places like gyms and museums to increase their capacity and outdoor gathering limits to bump up to 100. Can you help us make sense of moving forward with step 2 given the uptick in the state's coronavirus cases?
Well, I think so often we like to think of Boston as Massachusetts, and we're not. There are many, many towns and cities across the Commonwealth that are not seeing very much COVID activity. And so what we're trying to balance is if you have a town that has literally 4 or 5 incidents of COVID, why are you not opening your schools? Why you're not doing more things to, of course, better the economy? And so clearly anyone in the yellow and the red should not be opening up their economy more than where we are right now, particularly Boston, which is obviously where I represent. And so I think the mayor and the governor are dead on that here's enough of a motion forward, at least for Boston, and let us get our numbers down. I was on a call with the mayor earlier today, and the numbers are definitely going in the wrong directions. He had a concern initially about it being just obviously the students and the like and the young people, but those numbers are going up even amongst, not just amongst our students. And so please be vigilant, wear your mask, social distance. I know we've been saying it forever, but I think obviously we all should know that if the President of the United States in a very secure bubble can get COVID, we can certainly get it within our communities. And so I hope that is enough for you guys to know. His experience is enough for everyone to know we need to be very serious because we're going into flu season and it can get very dangerous over the next couple of months.
Great. If there are no other questions for Rep. Holmes from anyone on the meeting, we will thank you for your time. Any other questions? Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great night.
You do the same.
Bye.
Moving along in the agenda, we will now hear from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. We have Roudnie to give us updates.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Célestin from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. And I will start with my COVID numbers. I usually do it every meeting. In the city of Boston, we currently have 17,427 cases confirmed. We have 14,529 people recover, and 764 have unfortunately died. And that's as of Friday the 2nd. I don't have the latest numbers yet, but that tells you it's important for you to get tested close to you, places like the Common Square Health Center. We've expanded to places like the Grove Hall Public Library. But if you're ever in any doubt about where to get tested and when, if you just call 311, the agents have literal sheets with the schedules. They can tell you when and where to go. So just call 311 for any testing sites to help us decrease those numbers. Secondly, we want you to know that we're hosting a backpack giveaway on Saturday the 17th, just to help students get more materials for school. That's going to be happening at Walker Playground on Norfolk Street next to the Mildred Ave Community Center. And the Mildred Community Center is at 5 Mildred Ave, so it's the same park on Norfolk Street. As you know, the moratorium is set to end on October 17th, but if you do need help with assistance with housing stability, please do call the Mayor's Office of Housing Stability. They help us make sure people are in a safe place as much as we can, and they're reachable at 617-635-4200. Also, BPS, Boston Public Schools, has resumed school. We started on September 21st. If you are unaware, it is a hybrid program. I was told that you are able to revert to a fully remote, what would you call that? You could revert your child to fully remote instead of the hybrid. Hybrid means half of the week they're in class, half of the week they're online, and the teacher has both sets of students. And on Wednesdays, we take Wednesdays to clean the schools and the facilities. But if you were to want your kid to switch back, you can, and the number for BPS is 617-635-9000. And at this time, we know that it is wintertime is coming. I'm getting a couple of calls from seniors. No, someone just said in the chat, they thought moratorium was through December. No, right now, my notes are saying they're up until October 17th. If there was an update for December, I didn't get it. Unless anybody else saw it recently, I haven't seen that. Again, excuse me. So cold season is coming. That's the time of year when I start getting calls from seniors about their heat bill and their heating system. The Mayor's Home Center can help seniors get help to fix up their home and their heater. You can call 617-635-HOME. That's really the shortest way to get there. Or again, you can call 311. Yes, so in addition to the backpack giveaway that we're having, every student at BPS will receive a $50 card to shop in stores, but you have to shop by November 20th. Every kid in BPS, people ask us, do charter schools get it? Unfortunately not. At this time, they told me only BPS students would get it. But it's a $50 card to shop inside Staples through November 20th. Small businesses are still getting a ton of help. A lot of them need help with their reopening. Example, they can use it to put the barriers in front. They can use it for new systems for their businesses. Boston.gov/small business in case anyone here has a business that needs help. Another update that's not very city related, but in case we have anyone in the immigrant community here, the fees were set to go up on USCIS, and that's temporarily being blocked right now by the federal government. Fees were expected to go up from imagine paying $725 for an application, and they're trying to raise it to $1,200. Now think about the person trying to apply for this application who has to come up with that extra $500 for the application. So that's just another roadblock. And right now, the federal court is temporarily blocking that. I'm very grateful for. If you want to get updates, I've been pushing people to give me their emails because I send periodic updates now. Since COVID, I've sent 45. So my next one is number 46. So if you want to get those updates, just pop your email in the chat for me. People have been really good at that. And I'll put you in my list for the next ones. I hope you've done your census. The deadline is coming up on October 31st. If anyone here also, in terms of businesses getting more assistance from the city is now encouraging corner stores to sign up and be able to accept double bucks. So if you go to a certain bodega or a certain corner store and you think they could benefit from that program, have them get in touch with me so we can connect them so they can be set up for that. Because a lot of these businesses are making much less money and we can help them with their income at least a little bit with that program. If your child got a PEBT card for any food assistance, keep the card, don't throw it away because it seems that they will be reloading them with money. So try not to throw it out if you still have that card. Lastly, our plastic ban is coming back in the city of Boston. Because of COVID, it was nice to go to the store and they'll say, you don't need to pay extra money. They'll give you a free bag, but no more. We've returned back to the 5 cents, at least. It's between 5 and 10 cents in case they charge you a little more. It's 5 cents for the bags, and we are rolling that program back out again. With that being said, I've passed all my updates.
Thank you, Roudnie. We are now going to have an update from the Codman Square Farmers Market from our market manager, Shamara Rhodes.
I muted myself back out. Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Shamara, the Common Square Farmers Market manager, as Cynthia said. Last Saturday was the last market of the season. Boo, I know. And if you all missed it, I'm not gonna side eye you all right now, but it was amazing. We had a lot of volunteers. I definitely want to thank all of our farms and vendors, including Riverdale Farm, Her Farm, and Oasis on Baloo. They pulled up and they showed up faithfully. Every Saturday, they got there early. The market opens at 11. The line's there already forming at 9. Definitely thank the Bold Teens and all of for their hard work each Saturday. They've been amazing. And definitely shout out to BCYF for the teens, the Bold Teens, for giving them summer jobs as well. I want to thank Project Bread and the YMCA for the summer meals programs. So I know this is like recording, but this is hilarious. This is, they gave out chicken nuggets. I'm like, oh, shout out to Summer Eats. They're making sure the kids are really fed. It's like chicken nuggets, rice, like wild rice, and then like broccoli. So they're making sure the kids have something to eat in their bodies. Breakfast, we get snacks. So we try to give the parents who show up, because a lot of parents are still, afraid to bring their young ones out, and which is acceptable. So it's just been great. So thank you to Project Bread for that, and definitely the YMCA for assisting all the many families with the free meals. Thank you to the Mass Farmers Market for the coupon programs. We talked a little bit about that just like a couple seconds ago, the Double Bucks program, and then they have their Wicked Farm Fresh program where it's like I don't know if you all see them, they're like $2.50. So we give out up to $10 to $15 a week to like the first 50 customers, and then we'll take a break, and then around 12:30 we'll give out like another set of coupons. And then it's been well, like they're ready, they're lined up each week. Definitely it's a need in the community. Fresh food. There's everybody loves the beans. There's like this thing with these beans out there. So it's just like, if you haven't been to the market, make sure you show up next time as well. And then finally, big thanks to the folks at the census for their involvement. They were out there every Saturday for the first couple of weeks. Shelly, I believe I put her name out there, but thank you so much for coming through. And shout out to Teen Empowerment also as well for coming through and registering people to vote. They were there. So after census people, we had Teen Empowerment there for the last couple of weeks. Their shirts say gang, gang, vote. So they're out here really, trying to speak to the crowd in our neighborhood. But stay safe, stay corona free, get tested. I'm out.
Thank you, Shamara. We saw you taking all of the necessary precautions to keep the farms, the vendors, the volunteers, and the community safe this year, and really appreciate your dedication to the market and to your efforts.
Is there going to be a winter market? We will be in discussions of that, and we will have an update for you all next month. What's next month? November? Yes. I know that's like time consuming, but we have to take the necessary steps first before we, get back out there. We definitely would love to have a winter market. Sorry, that was like the question, the chat popped up, Cynthia, sorry.
This is good. I think Roudnie has something. Roudnie, you wanted to share something about the farmer's market?
Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah. Shamara, I just wanted to share that it was like maybe 6 weeks ago, I went to the market and they had like the cranberry beans, the ones that you just like grab yourself. And they had all the Haitian ladies there, and I was giving them reusable bags. I shelled the beans just for fun like 2 months ago.
Oh my goodness, no. Okay, we're going to have a talk offline.
But it was so well packed that I made chili with it over the weekend, and they were fine. So
okay,
thank you.
Okay, no problem. I'm glad the beans. We actually tell them not to do that to the beans because it takes some time.
Yeah, I saw Cynthia's husband too that day, and I was like, oh, 2 months, but they're still good. So thank you. Good product.
Oh, thank you all. They're a hot commodity, but we figured out a way to maintain that. We pre-bagging them now. We're not playing.
Sorry, everyone. The phone cut off on me. So while I was speaking, if you had any questions for me, feel free to pop them in the chat or when you do questions and answers.
Just to clarify the Double Bucks program, like I gave like a quick overview, but just you was talking about the Double Bucks program for the corner store. So what is that?
So basically the city is setting up small businesses to be able to accept that as a form of payment. Or it's double bucks and, am I confusing the double bucks with the, what do they call the the money that's used for EBT?
Oh my goodness.
There's PEBT and then there's EBT that they're trying to set them up.
Oh my goodness, yes. Wow. Bounty. No, is it? No, that's the same. That's the, okay, no. All right. I'm with you, but it's actually on the Master.gov website. How we can send that in the chat.
Let me find out now and I'll put it in the chat if anyone needs it.
There's actually one of the bold teens calling. That's it.
That's about it? Okay. Thank you guys. Any other questions for me about anything else that I said from seniors programs to school stuff? If it comes up, just put it in the chat for me. Thank you.
Great. Thank you both. Moving along in the agenda, we will now hear from the Department of Children and Families. We have Carolla Sanderson. She is a foster care parent recruiter.
Zoom. Good evening, Codman Square community. My name is Carolla Sanderson, and also joining us is my co-worker, Jacqueline Bagnera. We're both foster parent recruiters with the Department of Children and Families, and we'd just like to give you guys a brief update on how to become a foster parent. Before the pandemic, we spent a lot of our time in the community at different recruitment events. Unfortunately, since the pandemic started, we had to pause all our in-person events and information tables. And at this time, we are only doing virtual events. We are looking for foster parents, someone who loves children and will be able to provide them with a loving, caring, and nurturing home. I'll just briefly go over, the 6 steps of how to become a foster parent. The first step is to contact us. Contact DCF to ask questions and to express your interest. Second step is just to complete an application online. And the third step is to pass a background check. Once a background check is completed, we'll come into your home to complete a physical standard. The fourth step is to attend the Massachusetts Approach to Partnership in Parenting, and that's the MAP class. And the fifth step is social worker will complete a license study. And the sixth step, DCF will approve your home for placement. Jackie, are you with us?
Yes, hi, I'm Jacqueline Bagnera. I am Carolla's coworker. I'm also a foster care recruiter with the Boston Regional Office. So right now we are offering a lot of upcoming virtual info sessions so you can learn more about how to apply to be a foster parent and also ask questions. We're running them the first Tuesday of every month at 6:00 p.m. as well as there's several others. You can see the whole schedule up on the mass.gov/DCF website, and you can just type in foster care and you get all the information on there as well as our upcoming virtual info sessions. And if you have any direct questions, we also have the 1-800-KIDS 508 phone line. That is, anybody can call it, and it's both in English and in Spanish.
Great, thank you. We have a few questions here for you all. The first question is, can you guys further explain the difference between fostering and adopting?
Yes, so the difference is foster care, the ultimate goal is for those children to be reunified with their parents. So we're just, asking you to foster them until their family is ready for those children to go back with their family. Where adoption is, we're looking for a permanent home for children that are not able to be reunified with their parents.
Thank you. One other question. Should foster parents be concerned with encountering biological parents while fostering?
So we have a lot of trainings and information regarding safety. So we don't share personal safety of addresses and things like that. And we keep everybody's safety at our priority. There is ways of having contact, but usually it's all through DCF staff. Not directly with the bio parents unless it's safe. So.
Excellent. This is really important information. I know that there are families interested in fostering. If there are no other questions with anyone on the meeting, we'll make sure to send any future questions to you all. Are there any other questions? Can you guys provide your contact information in the chat so if others do have questions for you, they'll be able to reach you?
I have a question.
Oh, there is a question.
Thank you.
What is the age limit that you guys have set for foster parents?
We don't have an age limit set. We have a wide range of ages. You have to, of course, be an adult to be able to foster, but there is not a cap. As long as you can provide a nurturing, loving home and be able to care for that child, there is not an age cap.
Any other questions? Thank you both for your time and your attention, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I'll put
you.
the information in the chat.
Excellent. Moving along in the agenda, there is lots to be aware of in October. We had medical staff from Boston Medical Center present at last month's meeting regarding breast cancer awareness. And tonight we have Stephanie Crawford, president of Proper City Community Outreach, here to talk about the Heart's release for Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. Stephanie?
Good evening, Common Square community. I'm Stephanie Crawford, the president and founder of Proper City Community Outreach. We are a nonprofit that promotes positive healing in the community, and we are a nonprofit that promotes positive healing in the community, and we also work very directly with families that have been affected by pregnancy and infant loss. And this month is really special to us because this is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. During this month, there's a lot of awareness that goes on with, there's a lot of awareness that happens on social media. There's a lot of awareness that happens in different organizations, and we strive to bring the awareness to our community as well. So one of the things that we did last year was we had a hearts release ceremony where families can submit the names of their angel babies, whether it is your own child or a baby that is close to your heart. You submit the name to us, and then we hand write the name on a flower paper heart, and then we release it and call out the name. So this year what we're doing is we are releasing, saying a special message and calling out the name of your angel baby or the angel baby that is special to you. And we would normally gather together, but we cannot gather together this year. So what we're doing is having a virtual event. And so we will live stream it on Instagram and on Facebook. Families can ask to be named or not. It can be a very anonymous thing. It's just a space to, honor those babies in their memory and to honor the families that are grieving this month, as well as bring awareness that this is something that happens to many, many people, whether they say it or not.
Thank you, Stephanie. Can anyone submit names, and how do you submit names for the Hearts release?
Yes, so I tried to pull up and share my screen, but I can just share in the comments our website. So our website is, I'll share it in the comments, but I can also say it, www.propacityco, so that's PROPACITYCO.org. So www.propacityco.org. You, under our events tab, the flyer is there, and when you click on the flyer, a form pulls up, and you can fill out the form with the child's name, if there's another child as well, and then you can also have there's a space for a small message. If you already follow us on any social media, ProperCity_CO, either on Instagram or Facebook, then it's also on our feed, and I can share that with Codman Square as well, so that you can post it in any correspondence.
Are there any other questions from anyone in the meeting about the Hearts release? I want to share that I am personally so grateful for this organization. There are so many families dealing with all types of loss, from stillborn to miscarriages to infant loss. And I know that your organization has been a huge support for me and my family after our loss. So I'm very grateful for all that you all do.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no other questions, we will move on in the agenda. Thank you, Stephanie. We will now hear from Freedom Christ Ministry. Dee Ribeiro has an update on what's happening with the building. You will have to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good
Can
evening.
you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi, Cynthia. Thanks for opening up the way for us to be in this meeting. We really appreciate that. And with that, we just want to say how grateful we are to the entire community of Dorchester, Codman Square. Since last August 10th, our building had a major collapse with the facade due to wind damage, and it's been a lengthy journey with insurance company. As of today, they refuse to pay for the loss. So with that said, we were not in any condition to make the necessary renovation. So we were still waiting on the insurance company to come forward. And we know the business from 651 to 659 is quite ugly for almost a whole year. It's been horrible. It looks like an abandoned building. We're thankful that we're still able to keep our occupancy there, which is a blessing. So we could still, we were still able to keep up with our mortgage payment. But we just want to thank East Boston Savings Bank that stepped in, and they did give us the loan. So we're getting ready to start the reconstruction. I think Mr. Potter from JMP is on board with us also, and he's the one that's going to be doing all the reconstruction. Most of the reconstruction and the plan that we have is going to be more or less the same way as the building was before the collapse. The only difference is going to be is that we had an expensive facade up there, and it's no way we'll be able to do that at this point. So Mark he came up with another material that he will use to do that. But other than that, I think in another 4 months, the building should be looking beautiful again. And we just want to thank all of you for putting up with that ugly building again. So with that, Mark, do you want to say something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, we're going, for all intents and purposes, we're going to put it back almost exactly the way it was. The only difference being was previously it was built out of brick and bronze mortar and cement. But now the problem is with the insurance company not stepping up to the plate, it would have been, I mean, we're looking at $150,000 just to repair it as it is. But to put it back the way it originally was, you'd be talking close to $400,000 or $500,000. It's not feasible. The money's not there and we can't do it. So when I went to get the building permit last week, the building commission advised me just to talk to, all the neighbors and all the abutters and just explain to them what we're doing. And then that's why Dee had contacted you guys, and here we are, But I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's going to be almost exactly the way it was, just a different material. And if there's any issues, you can contact either Dee or myself, and I'll gladly address any issues you have,
Thank you so much. For everyone on the meeting, can you just clarify the exact address we're talking about for Freedom in Christ Ministry?
Yes, we're talking about 651 to 659 Washington Street in Dorchester, Massachusetts. Right in Codman Square. We're right next to the Kit Clark building. Yes.
And we really appreciate the update. I know a lot of residents were wondering, what was going on with the building, and it's helpful to hear what you guys have been doing behind the scenes, trying to get things back the way that they were. Are there any questions in the chat for Dee? If there are any other ways that we can be supportive, please let us know. Keep us posted on your progress. And we hope you guys can get this done before winter and the weather.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
it.
Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank
As I said, if you have any questions or concerns, either contact Dee or I, and we'll address them for you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
We will now move along on the agenda and hear from the Bold Teens. Keshler Sanon, the Bold Teens coordinator, will give us an update.
Hi everyone, I'm Keshler Sanon, the Bold Teens coordinator, and our summer has come to an end as of Saturday. Basically, what we were doing all summer, we were helping out at the market, helping with the menthol ban, and so we also hired teens in the fall. And if anybody knows any teens, please feel free to contact the Bold Teens at boldteens@gmail.com. And yeah.
Thanks, Keshler. How did you enjoy the summer?
It was not bad for everything going on. I still had a lot of interactions with people. I saw a lot of familiar faces. I enjoyed helping out the community, giving meals to families, helping them out with groceries. It was a pretty interesting summer.
Excellent. Thank you so much for the update. We're so glad to have teens in the community dedicated to improving the quality of life and the health of the neighborhood. So we're so grateful for you. If there are no questions from anyone on the meeting, we will move along in the agenda. Any questions for Keshler? No? Great, thank you so much. We will now hear from Candace Gartley. She's the Executive Director of All Dorchester Sports and Leadership, and she'll give us an update on what ADSL is up to.
Hi, I'm actually Imani Deal. I'm the Enrichment Coordinator.
Hi, Imani.
Hi, I'm taking Candace's place tonight. But just a quick update of what we're doing this fall at ADSL. We are offering virtual tutoring for elementary and middle school students in the area. So we'll be connecting them virtually to our tutors. So you can register on our website for that. We'll also be releasing enrichment videos virtually under our ADSL Presents Recess program. And so those videos will be released on our YouTube channel, and you can also find the link to that on our website. We will also be hosting a socially distanced in-person recess program where we will be doing daily sports with youth, and that can be found on our website for registration. And lastly, in November, we will be continuing our Healthy Nutrition Fit Kitchen classes, and they will be virtual as well. They'll be virtual pre-recorded videos that the community can engage in. And yes, that will be released in November. So that's all we got for this fall.
You guys are staying very busy.
Yes, yes.
Very nice. And what's the website for ADSL?
Oh, our website is www.alldorchestersports.org.
Excellent. Any questions for Imani? We really appreciate all that you're doing, especially during these difficult times. If there are ways that we can support you all, please let us know.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving along in the agenda, we will now hear from Marilyn Forman. She's going to be telling us about the annual Hidden Heroes and Sheroes event organized by the Codman Square Neighborhood Council and the Four Corners Action Coalition.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm Marilyn Forman and a proud member of the Codman Square Neighborhood Council. And I'm excited to kind of share with everyone tonight about the annual Hidden Heroes and Sheroes event. We were thinking that maybe it wouldn't happen this year, but God is good. And we have dedicated people who really believe in the cause. And so because of that, we are pushing forward. So we're excited to share that this year, in this unprecedented year where nothing is ever going to be as it was, this event is going to be totally different, but mind-blowing and still serving the same purpose for which it was created. So we're excited to share that this year in particular, the event is going to be held on November the 20th, and it has such sentimental emotions behind that date. And if you know, or if anyone knows how the Hidden Heroes and Sheroes event came about, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But just to brief you, and I don't know how many of you know the Reverend Dr. Bill Loesch, but he was this mighty man who cared deeply about the education of young people, who cared deeply about the community that we all live, and decided that, although many changes have occurred and people go in different directions, he held on to this event because of what it did for our young people. So we have young people, we know the rising cost of education and how even just to help purchase a couple of books makes such a huge difference in the lives of those young people. So we wanted to always keep inspiring them. So this year, as in years past, we will be honoring 2 youth and providing them with $1,500 scholarships for school and to further their education. So we're proud to do that. The difference is this year, this will be a virtual event. And it'll still be themed. You can bring your own dinner and sit there and eat. This way you get to choose whatever you want to eat and just participate. We have an opportunity also for you to still support the event. We rely heavily on the support of community members to make those scholarships possible for our young people. So we do have, you should be receiving a donor card, either by mail or by email sometime soon. I think I have it. Oh, I can't share it. Okay, but it will come out. You'll see it soon. So again, please make note of this date, November the 20th. And I believe we're starting at 6 o'clock, Cynthia?
Yes.
So it will start at 6 o'clock. And we'll send out all of these Zoom credentials so that you're able to join. And again, we are going to honor not just the youth, but also people in our community that have done amazing yeoman's work without wanting to be recognized, but we're looking at you. So we have, I believe that we solidified our list of nominees, and that will be coming out shortly. You'll see that in an email, a flyer, or something coming out soon. And we want our community to also come out and to support those folks that have gone above and beyond the call of duty to make sure that, that we have good quality of life in our community, and that, they're still striving to make things better for, places, the place that we call home, the place that we call work, the place that we church. So please come out, support that event. And what else? Am I forgetting anything, Cynthia?
No, that was everything.
Yeah, so it's going to be super exciting, and I'm really excited about it. So we'll be sending this information out probably by the end of this week or next week, maybe soon. But you can even get dressed up because, you can show yourself. It's just going to be a wonderful event. So thank you for your listening ear, and I look forward to seeing you next month.
Thank you very much, Marilyn. This event is such a wonderful event, and Marilyn explained the history and also its importance. Really just stay tuned, support this event. It's just a wonderful way to learn more about what's happening in the community and to honor our hidden heroes and Sheroes that deserve this recognition, although they're not seeking it. This is one of my favorite events of the year, so thank you so much, Marilyn. Are there any questions for Marilyn regarding hidden heroes and Sheroes? If not, Mark your calendars, November 20th.
You know, I forgot to add one thing because I talked about how significant that 20th date was. I think, you know, I just can't even say enough about that wonderful man that I was talking about, but it's going to be such a special year because it is also the day of his birth. So that is the Reverend Dr. Loesch, his birthday is on that date, the 20th. So we really have to show up and show out for that event. So spread the word. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't be selfish. Just make sure that you tell everybody all about it. And when you see that card, remember that we are supporting a cause that he was so dear to his heart. He was very passionate about it, and he'll come and get you if you don't support it. Because I have like this direct line to him and he knows, so he'll be looking over us. Okay, thank you again for your ear.
Thank you, Marilyn. Moving along in the agenda, we will now hear from the Boston Police Department. We have Sergeant Dunford from District C11 on the line, and he'll give us an update on what's going on in our district.
Hi guys, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Outstanding. Let's get down to business. On Friday, August 21st, there was a B&E at 528 Washington Street. That's the gas station. The owner came in, found a very unsophisticated break. He lost about $200 to $300 in some cigars. I never like any of this. This is not a master criminal. This is someone just forcing their way in, low skills, looking for money. On Sunday, September 6th, there was a radio call for a robbery at 796 Washington Street. That's Caballero's Market. A woman was inside. She's almost 60 years old. She was at the ATM, took some money out, and man knocked to the ground, took the money, and ran off. He got into a car and sped away. I don't think this was particularly planned. I think it was a crime of opportunity, but please be aware of your surroundings. If someone gives you that feeling that, you know, like you're being watched, that uncomfortable sixth sense that you have, listen to it and get yourself to a safe place. The woman was sore, but she was ultimately okay. Thank goodness. On August 29th, there was a call for shots fired at Washington Street in Aspinwall, which is actually in B3. To my knowledge, no one was hit, but one of the bullets did fly across Washington Street and struck the window at the Caribbean Market. Broken window, no one hurt. I'm sorry the action happened, but we'll take what positives we can. On Tuesday, September 29th at 605 Washington Street, this is before 7 o'clock in the morning, a man walked into McDonald's with a gun, showed a gun, demanded money. He then left. Detectives are tracking video from every other source we can get and finding his path. So I'm hoping we can do something with this. The downside, one of the many downsides of the pandemic and wearing masks, is that nobody looks suspicious anymore when they walk into a store wearing a mask. This is one of those weird things in life that we've all started to get used to. On Monday, September 28th, we responded to a break-in entering at 25 Wainwright Street, apartment number 1. The homeowner had an air conditioner in the first floor. You've heard me say this before. Somebody pushed it right in. The homeowner was only out of the house for a few minutes, so someone must have seen him leave and rushed right in. He was gone when officers arrived, but while they were there, a witness, one of the neighbors, came over and said, "I saw the whole thing and I think I know who it was." So she went to her Facebook page, was able to find it, identified him by Facebook. The police officers looked at it and they said, "We know that guy. He was known to us." Officers then saw him a couple blocks away. It turns into a long foot chase back and forth across Washington Street. Ultimately, officers caught him. A little bit of a struggle. Police officers hurt, bring him in. He was not hurt. So he'll be charged with B&E nighttime and assault and battering a police officer. As I said, somebody well known to officers. I'm a little concerned. We've had a number of incidents in the last couple months just outside of the square and the Alpha Road area down by Greenbrier and Claiborne Street, we're definitely watching it. There's been an increased amount of shot spotter notifications or people calling. There was one this morning. I was afraid, here we go again, but it turns out a transformer blew up. I'm always happy when it's a transformer blowing up. So what I tell everyone in that neighborhood is, if you think it might be gunshots, if you think we need to come on up, give us a call. That's what we're there for. That's what we do. Definitely let us know. We'll come up and check it out. We're always happy to find out it was a car backfiring or construction equipment. So I was reading, I saw a couple chats pop up. If anyone has any questions, let me know. I was able to read the chats and the reports at the same time. I'm not that good.
Sergeant Dunford, thank you so much for being on the call tonight. It's just not the same, not being able to see you in person, meetings. So we're grateful. And thank you for that update from B3. They're not on this evening, so we appreciate you trying to provide an update on that side. With regard to the incidents that happened on Washington Street with the commercial buildings, did those establishments have cameras at all?
There was no mention of cameras on the gas station one. McDonald's was cameras, and we found cameras in the neighborhood, so we sort of tracked him from where he left. We'll see where and when he takes the mask off. If detectives can get that far, that'd be nice. Nice grab.
I know that cameras have been helpful in those type of situations, and in the past there was a program with the Boston Police Department and the Department of Neighborhood Development trying to figure out cameras for the Merchants District. Is that gone? No more funding for that, or what's going on with that?
That was actually before my time. I know some of the Main Street groups have found money for cameras before, and that would be my best bet on where to start, as opposed to neighborhood development, because the Main Street groups, as you know, they're right there. They know everybody. They know exactly who needs what. Cameras are terrific. If you own a home, it usually reduces your homeowner's insurance. The more and more people get in the Ring doorbell, and I get sent those videos all the time of, hey, I just found this. So yeah, cameras just make us safer.
Thank you for your report and your updates. Are there any other questions for the sergeant?
I don't really have a question for him, but I really want to commend him and say publicly how much I truly appreciate you and your work. I know that it's been tough with the police department, and you know, not all are good, but I can say that you are, and that you truly care about our community and what have you. So I'm so happy that you're okay, and that I can see you, even though I can't like touch you or anything. But still, I want to just say publicly that I appreciate you and all of the work that you do in keeping us in the Codman Square area safe.
I didn't see that coming. Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you.
All right, guys, everyone stay safe and healthy, please.
You do the same. Have a good night.
Bye.
Are there any announcements before we begin our close?
Yeah, I just have one announcement. This Thursday, the Four Corners Main Streets will be celebrating their annual meeting, and we will be doing that at the Cornerstone on Washington Street, the corner of Harvard, Bowdoin, and Washington Street, starting at 4 p.m. We also have the Mad Music Mill, and they will be doing a off-the-cuff presentation. So it's any musical artist. If you rap, if you do spoken word, if you sing, you're invited to come. It's a very unique type of arrangement that they do. Really skilled artists that come along. So you're invited to come and be a part of that. Share information with artists, local artists, because it's just, you know, you just go up and you grab the mic and you do your thing. But they got it down to a science. So that's this Thursday starting at 4 o'clock. The event is supposed to be from 4 to 8. So the annual meeting portion is going to be very short, and it will start at right about 4:15.
And Marilyn, is there a virtual component to the annual meeting for those that can't go in person?
No, but that's a good idea. I will mention that to Marcos.
Great. Any other announcements? We covered a lot of information in this meeting. I encourage you all to share everything we covered with your friends, with your family, with your neighbor. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This meeting will be summarized, edited, and put on our YouTube channel. And then I also want to make an announcement that next month for our November meeting, we are conducting board nominations. So if you are interested in serving on the Codman Square Neighborhood Council board or want to nominate someone, make sure that you do so for our November meeting. If there are no other questions, comments, or concerns, I'm going to thank all of you tonight for your time and attention, and I will see you next month, same time, same place.
We run a city. We run a city. Move how I move and do what I say, so we run a city. We run a city.